Mira walks out before the laughter fades. Her heels strike the hardwood like a warning bell. The air outside tastes like rain and exhaust. Her chest tightens as she gulps it in. Behind her, the door opens and closes too fast. Adrian's footsteps follow, steady, certain. He catches her arm before she reaches the car. "Don't make a scene," he whispers, low and sharp. His grip is firm, a habit disguised as care. "Everyone was just joking. You overreacted again." She pulls free, her wrist burning where he touched. "If that was a joke, I'm done laughing." His expression twists, halfway between pity and scorn. "You can't keep doing this. You embarrass yourself." Mira looks at him and feels nothing. No love, no hate, just a quiet exhaustion. The kind that settles after too many apologies. "I'm going home," she says, voice calm but final. He scoffs, brushing his hand through perfect hair. "Go ahead, you'll call me when you cool off." She doesn't answer. The sound of her car door slams the last word for her. The engine hums, a fragile rhythm of escape. Streetlights blur through tears she refuses to wipe. Her phone lights up with his name, again and again. She turns it face down on the passenger seat. The silence between rings feels holy. By the time she reaches the bridge, the city glows behind her. It used to feel like home. Now it feels like something she's surviving. She parks by the river and lets the car idle. The reflection of street lamps dances across the windshield. Her hands tremble, the wedding ring glinting under the light. 4 years, she thinks. 4 years of swallowing words and calling it love. She remembers the first fight. He'd laughed, told her she was too sensitive. He kissed her forehead like forgiveness was his to give. Each time after, it got easier for him to hurt her. Harder for her to recognize herself. Tonight isn't new. It's just the first time she sees it clearly. Her phone buzzes once more, then stops. The screen goes black, and so does her fear. She exhales, slow and steady, like releasing a ghost. A new thought forms, small but solid. Maybe she can leave. Not just the party, not just tonight. Leave him. The idea feels impossible, and right all at once. She drives until the houses thin out, until her mind quiets. The night sky stretches wide, full of stars she forgot existed. Mira pulls into an empty lot beside an old diner. The neon sign flickers, whispering open. She sits there for a long time, breathing. Her reflection stares back, tired, smeared mascara, but alive. Somewhere deep inside, something steadies. Not hope, not yet. Just the first spark of freedom, too small to name. Lana opens the door before Mira can knock. Her friend's eyes widen at the sight of smeared makeup. "Come in," she says softly, no questions asked. The apartment smells like coffee and lavender detergent. Mira sinks onto the couch, shoes still on. Her hands won't stop shaking. Lana disappears into the kitchen, returns with tea. "Drink this, then tell me what happened." Mira stares at the steam, her reflection bending inside the cup. "It was just another joke," she whispers. Lana frowns, setting her own mug down. "Another?" Mira nods. "He said he'd rather stay childless than raise kids with me." The words hang in the air like broken glass. Lana's face hardens. "That's not a joke, Mira. That's cruelty." Mira shrugs, her eyes glassy. They all laughed, even his mother. She swallows, voice trembling. I stood there smiling like nothing was wrong. Lana leans forward. "You don't have to keep pretending it's normal." Mira looks up, startled by the certainty in her tone. Her phone buzzes on the table. The screen fills with Adrian's name. Again. Again. She flips it face down, the light winking out. For the first time in years, she lets it ring. Silence grows heavy between them. Lana breaks it first. "You've been living like this too long." Mira exhales, her chest tight. "I thought love meant patience, forgiveness." Lana shakes her head slowly. Love doesn't humiliate you in front of people. Mira presses her palms against her eyes. She remembers birthdays ruined by sarcasm, dinner parties that turned into performances, every cruel joke disguised as affection. The memories rush in like a flood. Her breath catches on a sob. Lana moves closer, wrapping an arm around her. "You're not crazy," she says gently. "You've just been taught to doubt yourself." Mira lets herself cry then, loud, messy, real. The sound echoes through the quiet apartment. By morning, her voice is raw but lighter. Sunlight filters through the blinds. Her phone lies silent, battery dead. She scrolls through old messages, old photos. Adrian's charm stares back at her in every frame. She deletes one, then another, then all of them. Lana watches from the doorway, arms crossed. "That's a start," she says. Mira nods, wiping her face with her sleeve. "I don't know what to do next." "You don't have to, just don't go back." The words settle deep in her chest. Don't go back. She repeats them silently, a new prayer. Her heart aches, but something inside feels clean. She opens her notes app and starts to type. Each line a memory, each memory a wound. The list grows longer. A private record of every time she was made small. When she's done, she closes the phone. For the first time, the silence feels like peace. The morning air feels sharper than usual. Mira stands at the bus stop, clutching a folder to her chest. Inside are screenshots, receipts, and notes she never meant to need. Her heart beats fast, but her steps are steady. She's on her way to the law office downtown. For once, she isn't running from something. She's walking toward it. The receptionist greets her with a calm smile. "Do you have an appointment?" "Yes," Mira says, her voice barely above a whisper. When she sits across from the lawyer, her palms are damp. The woman's nameplate reads Victoria Chen. Her tone is gentle but firm. "Tell me what's been happening." Mira starts with the baby shower. Then Christmas. Then every time a laugh cut deeper than silence. She speaks until her throat aches. Victoria listens without interruption, only nodding. When Mira finishes, the room feels too quiet. The lawyer flips through her notes, then looks up. This isn't a rough patch, it's emotional abuse. The words hit harder than she expects. Abuse. The sound of it makes her flinch. Victoria slides a brochure across the desk. "Here are resources for support groups and therapists. You'll need both." Mira stares at the paper, the letters blurring. "I'm scared," she admits. "That's normal," Victoria says, "but you're already doing the hardest part." Mira nods slowly. Her hands stop shaking. By the time she leaves the office, the sun is warm on her face. She breathes deeply, the air filling her lungs like courage. At a cafe nearby, she sits with her phone. Adrian's messages fill the screen. Apologies mixed with accusations. Her thumb hovers, then deletes them all. She blocks his number. For the first time, his silence will be her choice. Lana meets her that evening, eyes searching her face. "You did it, didn't you?" Mira nods, smiling faintly. "I met with a lawyer." Lana exhales in relief. "I'm proud of you." They sit together as the city lights flicker on. Mira looks down at her empty ring finger. A pale band of skin marks where the gold used to sit. It feels lighter now. That night, she writes in her journal. Not about pain, but about plans. Things she wants to reclaim. A favorite book. Her laughter. The color blue. Each word feels like stitching something back together. Her phone buzzes with a new message. It's from Adrian's sister. "You're really leaving him." Mira types her answer carefully. "Yes." No explanation. No apology. She sets the phone down and looks out the window. The city hums softly, alive and indifferent. Mira exhales, the weight shifting inside her chest. Tomorrow she'll start packing. Tomorrow she'll start over. But tonight, she simply sits in the quiet and lets herself exist. The restaurant glows with soft golden light. Mira walks in 10 minutes late on purpose. Her sister Ava follows, steady as a shadow. Adrian's family sits at a round table near the fountain. They look up together, like a rehearsed performance. Mira, darling, his mother begins, voice sugary and sharp. We're so glad you came. Let's clear the air. Mira forces a polite smile, takes her seat. The waiter sets down water, and silence stretches. Adrian leans forward, elbows on the table. Look, everyone said things they regret. He glances around, waiting for nods of agreement. His sister adds, you misunderstood our jokes. We love you. Mira traces the rim of her glass. Her reflection wavers in the water. Ava's knee presses gently against hers, a silent reminder. Mira straightens her back. You're right, she says softly. The table relaxes. Even Adrian smiles, thinking the storm has passed. But I've been keeping track, Mira continues. She unlocks her phone and opens her notes app. November 15th, she begins. You said my job was cute because it didn't threaten yours. Adrian blinks, his mother frowns. December 24th, you told me real wives don't need careers. Mira's voice doesn't tremble. Each word lands like a stone in still water. His sister shifts uncomfortably, glancing toward the waiter. January 10th, you laughed when I cried at dinner. Adrian exhales sharply. Mira, this is unnecessary. No, she says, it's overdue. She scrolls again, reading calmly. March 5th, you said I should be grateful you put up with me. The couple at the next table stops eating. The air tightens with unspoken judgment. Adrian's mother hisses, lower your voice. Mira meets her gaze. For 4 years, I lowered my voice so you could keep your pride. Adrian slams his palm on the table. You're humiliating yourself. She sets her phone down, folding her hands. No, Adrian, I'm telling the truth. From her purse, she slides an envelope across the table. It lands beside his untouched glass of wine. He stares at it, confused. Then realization hits. His mother's breath catches. Divorce papers, she whispers. Mira stands, calm as dawn. Yes, signed this morning. Ava rises beside her, placing money for the drinks. Adrian's voice cracks as he stands. Mira, don't do this here. She looks at him one last time. I already did. The waiter steps aside as they walk past. Adrian reaches out, catching her arm. Please don't leave. She turns, eyes steady. Let go. He does. They exit into the cool night air. Outside, the city hums, indifferent and alive. Mira exhales, her chest unclenching for the first time. The envelope remains behind, heavy with endings. She doesn't look back. Freedom, she thinks, doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it whispers as you finally walk away. The morning after feels too quiet to trust. Mira wakes to sunlight spilling through thin curtains. Ava sleeps on the couch, phone still in her hand. The apartment smells like coffee and something new. Peace, maybe. Mira pours herself a cup and stands by the window. The city outside is the same, but she is. Her phone buzzes with missed calls she doesn't return. Each ring feels smaller, weaker, easier to ignore. She opens her laptop and types 3 words. Divorce process steps. The search results feel like oxygen. Later that week, she moves into a small apartment downtown. Boxes line the floor, each one labeled with shaky handwriting. Her name alone on the lease makes her eyes sting. No joint signatures. No approval needed. That night, she buys a cheap lamp, a soft blanket, a plant. Tiny symbols of ownership over her own life. She unpacks slowly, one drawer at a time. Each object feels lighter than it used to. The walls are blank but full of promise. Lana visits with takeout and cheap wine. They eat on the floor, laughing between bites. "You did it," Lana says. Myra nods. "I think I'm starting to feel real again." They toast to that, plastic cups clinking in the dark. The next week, Myra meets with a therapist named Dr. Reyes. Her voice shakes through the first session. "I thought I was happy," she admits. Dr. Reyes writes something down, then says softly, "Happiness built on fear isn't happiness, it's survival." The words echo long after she leaves the office. Myra starts journaling again. At first, it just lists things she misses, things she doesn't. Soon, the lists turn into letters she'll never send. To Adrian. To herself from 5 years ago. To the girl who thought love meant endurance. At work, her boss calls her into the office. "You've been incredible during the merger," he says. A new title. A raise. Recognition she never thought she deserved. Myra thanks him, blinking back tears. For the first time, her success feels entirely her own. At home, she paints the walls a soft coral pink. Adrian once called the color childish. Now it feels like sunrise. Her evenings fill with quiet rituals. Tea instead of wine. Music instead of apologies. Sometimes, she catches herself waiting for permission to relax. Then she laughs and does it anyway. A month passes. Her hair grows longer, her laugh louder. The nightmares come less often. Freedom becomes a habit. She walks to the market on Sundays, basket in hand. Chooses flowers for herself. Wild ones, untamed and bright. She places them by the window. Their scent fills the room, mingling with morning light. Myra stands there, breathing it in. She doesn't think of Adrian anymore. Not with hate, not with longing. Just with gratitude that he's gone. Her life is finally hers to keep. The letter arrives on a Tuesday morning. Myra finds it in her mailbox, handwriting she knows too well. For a moment, she just stands there holding it. The paper feels heavy, like it carries a ghost. She sits by the window, sunlight brushing her skin. The kettle whistles, a soft reminder of the present. She opens the envelope with careful fingers. Adrian's words spill out in neat, apologetic lines. He writes about therapy, reflection, regret. He says he's changed. He says he misses her laugh, her quiet, her warmth. Myra reads every word once, then again slower. Her chest aches, but not with longing. It's pity, sharp and fleeting. She folds the letter neatly and places it aside. Her reply takes less than a minute to write. "I wish you peace. Please don't contact me again." She slips it into a new envelope and leaves it unsealed. Maybe she'll send it, maybe not. The decision feels like freedom either way. That evening, she meets Ava for dinner. The restaurant smells of lemongrass and jasmine rice. Ava asks about the letter, eyes gentle but curious. "He apologized," Myra says. "Do you believe him?" Ava asks. Myra shakes her head, smiling softly. "Maybe he's changed, but so have I." They raise their glasses, the clink bright and clear. Later, Myra walks home beneath a soft spring drizzle. The city glows around her, reflections shimmering on wet pavement. She passes the cafe where she once cried alone. Now it just looks like another place in her story. At home, she lights a candle and opens her journal. She writes about the way healing feels, slow, uneven, alive. She writes about laughter that doesn't need permission. About mornings that don't start with fear. Weeks turn into months, and the rhythm of peace deepens. Her apartment fills with plants, sunlight, and quiet music. Sometimes, she catches herself humming while cooking. Other times, she dances barefoot just because she can. One afternoon, she meets someone new at the bookstore. His name is Daniel, kind eyes, easy laugh. They talk about novels and favorite songs. He doesn't interrupt. He doesn't diminish her. When he asks for coffee, she hesitates, then nods. The date is simple, gentle, nothing like before. She doesn't imagine forever. She imagines possibility. In the evenings, she still visits the women's group. She tells her story to others, just beginning theirs. The first joke isn't a joke, she says softly. It's a test to see how much pain you'll tolerate. They listen, eyes wide, tears glinting in the dim light. She sees herself in them, and she sees hope. By autumn, the air turns crisp and golden. Mira hosts Thanksgiving with friends and family. Laughter fills the mismatched kitchen. No judgment, no control. Just warmth and clattering plates. When the sun sets, she stands by the window, smiling. A silver ring gleams on her right hand, a promise to herself. She whispers, "I'm finally home." And for the first time, it's true. Morning light spills across the room. Mira wakes to birdsong and the scent of coffee. Her plants lean toward the window, alive and green. The city hums quietly beyond the glass. She ties her hair, slips into a soft sweater. No rush, no fear, just calm. The world feels wide again. She brews her favorite blend, adds too much sugar, and smiles. Every small imperfection feels perfectly hers. Her phone buzzes with messages from friends. Dinner plans, weekend trips, laughter waiting to happen. She scrolls through photos of her new life. Each one a proof of return, of becoming. On the balcony, sunlight warms her skin. She closes her eyes, breathing in the morning. The echoes of the past no longer sting. They've softened into lessons she carries lightly. Freedom doesn't shout, it whispers. It sounds like her heartbeat, steady and sure. She takes a sip of coffee and laughs softly. This is peace. This is home. And she's finally where she was always meant to be.